Libra, don't let this person get in your way this April. I don't even need to say the name, I don't need to describe it, because the moment you read the title, the face appeared, the specific person, and you felt it, that tightness, that tension, and you tried to ignore it, you tried to rationalize it, you tried to convince yourself that you're exaggerating, but you're not. Your body knows, your intuition screams, and April will test if you will finally listen. This person isn't an obvious enemy. It would be easier if they were. It would be simple if they openly hated you, if they attacked you clearly. But no, they are subtle. They are the kind of person who says they love you while belittling you, who says they support you while sabotaging you, who says they want what's best for you while keeping you exactly where you shouldn't be. And you know, you always knew. But Libra hates admitting that someone close to them can be toxic, because admitting it means having to act. And acting means confrontation, or distance, or the end. And you prefer to maintain a false peace than to face a disturbing truth. But April won't let you escape. April will force you to choose, and the choice will be you or her, your path or her presence in your path, your evolution or the comfort of keeping someone who prevents you from evolving. So let me help you identify it with absolute certainty. Because maybe you still have doubts, maybe you're still benefiting from something you don't deserve. This person always has an opinion about your decisions, always. You mention opportunity, they point out risks. You talk about a dream, they list reasons why it won't work. You share a small victory, they downplay it or change the subject for themselves. And they do it with a worried expression, with a realistic tone, with a mask of "I'm only being honest because I love you." But it's not love. It's control disguised as care. It's her insecurity projected as protection for you. Because if you grow, if you evolve, if you become who you can be, you won't need her anymore. And she knows it, and that terrifies her. So she keeps you small, not violently, subtly, with planted doubts, with eroded trust, with dreams questioned until you doubt yourself. And she has a specific pattern of how she acts when you're about to take an important step. Are you about to start something new? She creates a crisis. Suddenly she urgently needs you. Suddenly she's going through a difficult time. Suddenly you can't focus on yourself because she needs to be the priority. And you give in, because Libra always gives in, because you don't want to be the kind of person who abandons someone in need. But her need is strangely always there when you're about to move forward. And that's no coincidence. It's a pattern. It's an unconscious or very conscious way of keeping you orbiting around her instead of following your own path. Are you happy? She brings trouble. Are you confident? She reminds you of your past failures. Are you hopeful? She injects cynicism and makes it seem like she's preparing you for disappointment. But in reality, she's creating disappointment, because the expectations you carry influence the outcome. And if she manages to make you expect the worst, you attract the worst. And specifically about April, why is April a crucial time for you to protect yourself from it? Because April for Libra in 2026 is a month of doors opening. Not doors you sought out, doors the universe is opening because you are ready. Opportunities, connections, changes, and these doors have a time window. They don't stay open forever waiting for you to decide. They open, and either you enter or they close. And that person will do everything to make you hesitate, to make you question, to make you miss the window of opportunity. Not necessarily because they are bad, but because they can't stand you going where they can't go. They need you on their level. They need you accessible. They need you not too big, not too busy, not too evolved. And she's going to use specific weapons in April. Let me show you exactly what to expect. In this first week of April, she will question your competence. She will make casual comments that sow doubt. Are you sure you're ready for this? Don't you think you should wait longer? What if it doesn't work out? And she will say this with a face that says she just wants you to be cautious. But what's the effect? The effect is that you freeze. The effect is that you start questioning what you were sure of. The effect is that you waver precisely when you need conviction. Second week, she's going to create drama. There will be fights, There will be misunderstandings, there will be situations that demand all your emotional energy precisely when you need that energy for the opportunity that's presenting itself. And you're going to have to choose, and she's going to make it seem like choosing opportunity over her is betrayal. But it's not, it's survival. Third week, she will offer help that is actually sabotage. She will say she wants to help you, she will get involved, and she will subtly steer you toward a choice that benefits her, not you. And you won't realize it at the time. You'll only realize it later, after you've already made the choice and see the result, and you think, how did I let this happen? Fourth week, she's going to make you feel guilty for growing up, for being busy, for not being as available. And Libra, guilt is a powerful weapon, because you can't stand feeling like you've let someone down. So you compensate. You prove you still care. And proof usually involves you sacrificing something of yours to soothe her insecurity. And what about at the end of April? If you let this pattern unfold, you'll look back and see missed opportunities, connections not made, changes not implemented. And worse, you'll have justifications, you'll have reasons why it didn't work out, and they'll all seem legitimate, because she's good at it. She's a master at making sabotage seem like circumstance, control seem like care, manipulation seem like love. But you don't have to let that happen. You have power here, more than you realize, because recognition is the first step. And you've already recognized it, you already know who you are. Now you act, and action for Libra isn't necessarily dramatic confrontation. It doesn't have to be war. It can simply be distance, protection, boundaries. When she plants doubt in the first week, you don't argue. You don't justify yourself. You simply say thank you for your concern and do what you know you should do. You don't need her approval. You don't need her validation. You need the courage to trust yourself more than you trust her opinion. When she creates drama in the second week, you don't take the bait. You don't let yourself be pulled into an emotional vortex. You say, we need to talk about this, but not now. Right now I need to focus on something important, and if she doesn't accept it, if she forces it, you walk away, physically or emotionally, because drama that can't wait is rarely a real emergency. It's usually manipulation. When she offers help in the third week, you thank her but don't accept, or you accept minimally and maintain total control of the situation, because you've learned that her help comes with strings attached. It comes with an agenda. It comes with a cost you don't want to pay. And when she tries to blame you in the fourth week, you breathe. You remember that growing up isn't betrayal, that being busy isn't abandonment, that focusing on yourself isn't selfishness, and you allow her to feel what she feels without taking responsibility for fixing it, because you're not responsible for her insecurities. You're responsible for your own life. And this is going to be difficult, because you're going to feel guilty. You're going to be afraid of losing her. You're going to feel like maybe you're being too harsh, that maybe you should give her another chance, that maybe you're overreacting. But then you remember all the times you gave in, all the times you put her first and yourself second, all the opportunities you missed because you were managing her insecurities instead of building your own life. And you realize it's not an exaggeration, it's a pattern, and patterns need to be broken. And when you break the pattern, when you finally protect yourself, she will react. It could be anger, it could be sadness, it could be intensified emotional manipulation. I just wanted to help you and you're cutting me off. I thought we were important to each other. You've changed. And lastly, it's true. You've changed. You've grown. You've evolved. And she hasn't kept up. And it's nobody's fault. But it's also not your responsibility to shrink to fit into a space you've already outgrown. What if she truly loves you? What if the connection is real? She will accept your limitations. She will respect your growth. She will support you even when it means less access to you. But what if she can't? What if she only wants you on her terms? Then it's not love, it's dependence or control, and both are toxic. And who specifically could that person be? Because I mentioned them in the singular, but it could be several. It could be your mother or your father, who loves you but also wants you to be small, who protected you so much that now they suffocate you, who has so much difficulty seeing you as an independent adult that they unconsciously sabotage anything that takes you away from them. It could be a partner, or a female partner, who says they love you but really loves the version of you that needs them, who feels threatened when you are strong, who unconsciously weakens you to feel needed. It could be a friend, a longtime friend, someone who's always been there, but who's also always kept you in a specific role. And that role doesn't include you being more successful, or happier, or freer, because the dynamic between you is based on you needing them. And if you don't need them anymore, who are they then? It could be a colleague or a mentor, someone who helped you in the beginning but now sees you as competition, someone who subtly sabotages you because your success diminishes theirs, someone who plants doubts disguised as realism because if you shine, they'll be overshadowed. Regardless of who it is, the action is the same. Protection, boundaries, distance if necessary. Because April won't wait for you to perfectly resolve this. April will present opportunities, and either you are free to seize them or you are stuck managing a toxic person. And how will you know if you made the right choice? If you protected yourself correctly, if you acted at the right time, you'll feel it. Not immediately, but soon. You'll feel lightness. You'll feel space. You'll feel like you can breathe again, because you didn't realize how much mental and emotional space she occupied until you created distance, and suddenly you have energy, you have clarity, you have focus, and decisions that seemed impossible become obvious. Opportunities you didn't see appear, because you are no longer filtered through the doubts and fears she planted. What if she's the right person for you but the wrong time for intense closeness? You'll reconnect later, when you're strong, when she's healed, when the dynamic between you is healthy. But now you need space, and that's okay. And the final truth about that person and April and their path: you can't carry anyone while you're climbing. You can help, you can lend a hand, but you can't carry another person's entire weight while you're climbing, because either you let go of them or you both fall. And April is your climb. It's the moment when you ascend, where you reach a new level, where you become a more evolved version of yourself. And anyone who pulls you down during the climb, no matter how much you love them, no matter how long they've been in your life, you have to let go, or at least loosen your grip until you get where you need to be. And that's not cruelty, it's wisdom, it's self-preservation. It's recognizing that you can't save anyone if you're drowning. You can't light anyone's way if your own light is extinguished. You can't serve a greater purpose if you're trapped serving someone else's insecurity. So in April you choose consciously, not out of anger, not out of revenge, but out of self-love, out of self-respect, out of commitment to the life you came to live. And you protect your path, fiercely, lovingly, but firmly. And that person, they will survive without you at the center of their life. They will have to find their own strength, their own path, their own purpose, and that may be the best gift you can give, because as long as you are there to support them, they will never have to learn to stand on their own 2 feet. So you let go, you protect, you move on. And April becomes not the month where you lost someone, but the month where you found yourself, where you regained power, where you walked through doors that were waiting for you to have the courage to enter. And on the other side of those doors, the life you always wanted, the version of yourself you always knew you could be, and the freedom to no longer carry a burden that was never yours to carry.